Welcome back to this week's episode, everybody. Please enjoy part 2 of my interview with Erika Spies, the president and founder of the Brooklyn Miller Foundation. And remember, following this episode, please check them out at bmillerfoundation.org or the Brooklyn Miller Foundation on Facebook. No, I think those are perfect and reasonable goals, and I think you'll absolutely get there. You've got the drive to do it and the passion to do it, and most importantly, the guide behind you to do it. With these children, they push us harder to move forward and to do everything that we're supposed to be doing for them to ensure that their message and that their voice is heard loud and clear through us. And I believe that we do everything that we can. So I think that you're absolutely going to get there. It's definitely a lot of work, but it makes the most sense, and it's one of those things where the only form of payment that we ever take as far as a salary is the pictures that I receive as thank yous, or the emails from parents saying thank you. They were having the worst day ever. I just got one yesterday, and it was three messages, and said that we had the worst day ever. We had to go to the hospital, and they were having a terrible day, and they got home and there was a box on the porch, and it just made their day. And to me, that's the most important thing that we can ever receive when we're sending these things out. Anytime you're having a bad day, getting those types of responses and emails and pictures is something that really can lift you up, because you know that not only are you making just a positive difference, but you know your child is enriching their life in a way that from beyond, from heaven, kind of passing along those happy moments and happy tears even. And I think it's an incredible thing. Again, it's not for accolades, it's not for karma, it's not for any of that. It's because it's the right thing to do, and it makes the most sense. So I think you'll absolutely get there. And I look forward to seeing what you can come up with. I look forward to you putting on events that force us to come to Texas and come out and in the wherever we're going out there in the backwoods, out in the.
Hey, I do have a couple of events going.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
So we're doing a barbecue cook-off June 14th and 15th. So that's our first big event. And then we're doing a sporting clay shoot in November. I am doing a childhood cancer awareness community day in September.
Okay.
So I'm learning the different types of events and how to do them. So I'm a school teacher. So this summer, my goal is to get the events that we've already got planned really underway, but then to start planning next year's events. I'd like to have 5 or 6 different events going on throughout the area next year. So I'll definitely have some big ones.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome. That is awesome. And that is something that, so you're learning it. We're still learning it. I was speaking to other people that they're really trying to figure it out, where you do a lot of events throughout the year or throughout, a couple of years to really see what sticks and what makes the most kind of impact, and then you just put all of your efforts into those. So we do our giant event in August, and then in September we're in DC for CureFest. But we've added a lot of different things this year just to kind of see if something will take off that'll give us a little bit more really financial stability for our organization, because what we do is not free. It is definitely all community based, and we rely on our community to help us out. So how do you go about donations, and how is it going with that at all?
So right now I have, if you go to our website, we've got a little pop-up where you can donate money if you would like. Starting out, we had quite a few decent-sized donations. I did a bake sale that I ended up taking to a softball game because it didn't do very, very well. There weren't very many people that showed up, and over the weekend made like $4,000 because I was just like donation based. I've got a car full of snacks. Take what you want, pay what you want, and everything was pretty much gone. And so that was a nice little help. Whenever I got everything up and going, the website, we're all ready to go. I had a little competition put on my Facebook page. If you get $500, you get a shirt. If you raise $1,000, you'll get a cup and a shirt. And so we made a little bit through that. Then with our barbecue cook-off coming up, we've got sponsors that are helping, and then as well as all the insurance and stuff. So that's brought in an okay amount. I have a corporate sponsor that is helping, and so my goal for the summer is to try to get out and get a few more of those, so that way. But yeah, everything is donation based. I've had some community members donate items for either the Brooklyn's bags or the couples care kits, and so anything like that is really helpful.
Donations are difficult. It's fundraising is very, very hard. And you honestly, and as my wife keeps telling me now that we're 4 years into this, that she's, we thought it would get easier as the years go by, and it feels like it's getting harder. And I don't know if it's an economic thing. I don't know if there's just still not enough eyes and ears and awareness on it, or if it is what I generally think is that if you close your eyes and turn around, then it doesn't exist. And therefore, by supporting it, you almost have to focus on it. You have to look at it and acknowledge that it is a real thing. So, for us, it's kind of similar. Is we've done several events that we raise money. We've done yard sales, a few of them that are all donation based, make your own price, and we do pretty well on those. But corporate sponsorship for us has been very difficult. We get a lot of no's, a lot of people telling us that your mission doesn't align with our giving priorities, which I don't understand still. I'm trying to figure that one out. It's a really cool slogan, but I don't understand it.
Right? I don't get that either.
Yeah, I don't I look at it and say, okay, if we reach out to, like, we have a defense company here in Wisconsin. Okay, if I reach out to a defense company or a construction company, I understand that the core of your mission is probably not children. But at the same time, children are at the core of everything that we do. What you're building, what you're defending, whatever is, it's got to do with kids. And all of these kids are supposed to be growing up and being the next new generation of workers in these industries. So they're at the core of everything. And it's very difficult to get, I think, people to get a hold of the right people. That's the hardest part of fundraising, is to get past the secretary and get to the people that really are the ones saying yes and no, and trying to get your request out of the trash can and onto their desk so you can speak to them. And so it's not easy. I'm definitely not going to sugarcoat anything. This fundraising is hard, and corporate donations are hard. Some companies seem to have a lot more ease of doing it. I don't know what it is. I know we kind of make a terribly placed joke all the time that if we were fundraising for animals, we probably have no issues getting money.
That's the truth.
But we do the best that we can, and it's definitely hard. So I would, obviously, please tell everybody what your website is so I don't get it wrong, so where they know where to go and they can donate and help.
All right. The website is bmillerfoundation.org. And then we also do have Facebook as well. It's the Brooklyn Miller Foundation. But now that I am off for the summer, I plan on trying to get on a more regular schedule as far as posting, keeping everybody updated on what we're doing. If you would like to donate something, whether money or gifts for the couples care kits or the Brooklyn's bags, our P.O. box is on the website, and you can send anything you would like to that. They are greatly appreciated, and they will be used. I am, for every basket that we put together, unless we get to the point wherever, one of these days where I'm making so many, I don't have the time to do a video and I'm just putting them all together. I will be doing a video telling a little bit about each child that the baskets go to, as well as showing what is put in them, so that way the people that donate do see that, it is going for what they're putting it to. And if you donate an item to go in a basket, it's going to go in a basket, and you will see it in a basket if you watch all of the videos. Because every item will be used, and they will be greatly appreciated by us and by the child that receives it.
That's amazing. And like I said, anybody that's listening, please, reach out, look on, on the website, look on social media, anything that you can, whether it's $1, $5, whether it is an item that you can send that can help them, fulfill these packages, from one, organization to another that's doing this on a daily basis. We rely on our community. We rely on all of you to help us continue these missions that our children have left behind for us. And it's not easy. And I would tell you right now that, we started out and we actually have gotten away from, we used to post pictures and everything about every child that we sent a package out to. And fortunately and unfortunately, I guess you can look at it from both ways. We're sending so many now that I cannot keep up with posting all the pictures. And it's a good thing that we're able to give back and that so many of the community have found us and able to do that. But it's also unfortunate that the community is growing at such a massive rate that every year our package requests double. We are, we're well on pace to be well over 300 this year, and that'll put us close to 1,000 before the end of the year, which is it's a lot. We love what we're doing, love being able to give back, but it is just an intense feeling every single day that this community continues to grow. And while the organizations grow and our voices get louder, more children are being diagnosed. And a problem that we need to fix right now, a problem that we need to take seriously. And we need to understand that, we don't want to be here doing this. I would love to go out of business. I would love to shut the doors on BattleCorn right now and say, we're not needed. We've done what we needed to do. They fixed it. We'll donate whatever funds we have and move on. But that's not going to happen, and it's an unfortunate thing. But I think you're doing amazing, and I think you'll continue to grow and have incredible success. And I love being able to collaborate and work together. So anything that we can do to help, please let us know. But I think you're going to do wonderful in this space, and you've got the passion for it. So I think it'll be great.
Well, I appreciate that, and I love getting to see everything you do. Y'all definitely keep me entertained. But no, I think it would be great if next year, whenever y'all start your fundraising thing, I'd love to be a part of it in some way to help. Because even if I can't, we're not to that point with the Brooklyn Miller Foundation, I definitely support what y'all do 100%. And so I would love to be a part of it in any way that I possibly can.
Absolutely. And we welcome it and we appreciate it, and we want as many people to be a part of it. And if you ask anybody, our fundraising never ends. As soon as we end one, we have to start another one for everything that we've got going on. But that's just the nature of the beast.
Oh yeah.
But it's definitely something that, like I said, it's a passion. It's a drive that I don't have an off switch, and I think so many people in this community do not have an off switch. Sometimes I wish I did. And it's so you can take a break, and go back and say, go back and take our own advice and take care of ourselves before we can take care of everybody else. It's the theory of, it's the airplane oxygen mask theory. You have to put yours on first before you help everybody else. And unfortunately, I think most of us put everybody else's on first before we take care of ourselves. But it's hard. I will tell you, it's very hard to take your own advice. It's very hard to listen to what you're telling other people, practice what you preach. It's very hard to ask for help in this community, and in any community in that sense. But for my wife and I, we were always the couple that helped everybody else. So even 4 years later now, we are still trying to figure out how to ask for help and how to do it the right way that doesn't feel like we're begging or things like that, when we're really just asking for help because we want to provide that to other people.
Yeah.
So
I find it a little bit easier to ask whenever it's not for myself. I don't think I could get out there and say, hey, I need this for me, but hey, you know what? I've got 3 6-year-old little girls that I just got applications for this week that really could use something. Any help would be greatly appreciated. I have no problem putting that out there. But taking the time for me is a whole lot. It is definitely easier said than done, because my whole focus is, what can I do to help this grow? I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to make flyers. I need to start talking to people. I need to put myself out there more. And then before you know it, the day is over and I'm still sitting in the same place I was whenever I woke up and haven't had that time. So it really is definitely hard to to put myself first sometimes whenever I have such a passion to do everything else.
Yep. No, I think, and I don't know if you're as much of a control freak like I am, that I have to have my hands in everything. I can't really delegate as much as I would like to. Mm-hmm. And, we've recently within the past year have, brought on somebody to help us with outreach. And then we have Tim with us to help us with our social media outreach and our social media stuff and things like that. And it's very hard for me to let go. And I want to have my hands in everything. And if I didn't have that, I'd be 24 hours a day on everything until, right. And on, with a coffee IV in or something like that, just keeping me going. It's very hard for me to let go of stuff like that, but it's important to be able to, there's never going to be enough time in the day. There's just not. No, there's not. And there's always something else coming up. And like I always say, if you look, I've got them all over my desk now. I've got them in my pockets. I've got Post-it notes or pieces of paper that I find that I write a note on real quick because I'm thinking of something. I've got the notepad in my phone has probably got stuff that's a mile long that I got to write this down or I'll forget it. Mm-hmm. And we're scatterbrained. There's a lot of stuff out there we're trying to do. And so getting help from other people or asking for help, it's hard, not because we don't want to necessarily. It's because we want to make sure that we're in control of it, I think. And it's a difficult thing, but I'm trying to get better at it. I'm trying to, regulate my time and say, okay, I'm going to be doing this for a few hours. Then I got to walk away from it. Otherwise you get so buried in it that you'll sit for 10 hours and get an hour of work done.
Right. Yeah. Those days aren't very productive.
No.
You'd be better off getting up and going for a 30-minute walk or something to clear your head and coming back in and doing something.
Yep, that's the truth. But that's what we go through on a daily basis. So now you're not only a parent, you're an advocate, you're a business owner, you have a job, a daily job that takes you away from this. Mm-hmm. You're a mother, you're a father, you're a husband, a wife. You've got a million different irons in the fire any day. And you just have to find a way to kind of regulate that time and spread that out to make it the most effective. So I think people look at us and think, and let's be honest, it's been said, whether it's been said to your face or not, well, your child's passed away. So why are you so upset still? Or why are you still working so hard? Why are you still doing this every day? Or why are you talking about it? It's over now, right? It's
not over.
Yeah.
It will never be over.
We've all heard it, you know what I mean? Yep. We've all heard it, and it's, or your voice isn't loud enough. You're not going to make a difference, and you're only one person. And then there's also the fun fact of if your child does pass away, about 90% of your support circle just disappears into the ether. For some reason, my wife says that it's because, the circus show's over. So now they've got nothing to focus on. Yeah. They've got no events to come to that are with your child there. They've got nothing to support. And so they disappear. And it's an unfortunate thing because if anything, we need your support more.
Even more. I've been being very loud in my community. I'm all over our local Facebook, local networking groups. I go to those. I'm doing the community event in September, and I'm going to make sure I get flyers out to every child in all the schools. Whether they show up or not, they're going to know about us and going to have something that makes them be at least for a second aware of childhood cancer. And so it's like, that's all I know to do at the moment.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. It doesn't matter whether you, obviously it matters whether you show up or not, but it really, as long as you see it and it's in your face and you hear it and you know about it, you can only change a channel so many times before you're going to see the same message. And we may never be as big as a certain commercial, which I reference all the time without actually saying what it is, but we're damn sure loud and have a lot to say. And we're never going to have that type of funding coming our way or that type of attention. But at the same time, people start to look when you start to make noise and you start to make a ruckus in the corner, and they're wondering what's going on, and you're showing up at the Capitol and knocking on doors, and you're you're showing up at places of business and you're always wearing something, and they're wondering, what the hell is that ribbon you're always wearing, and what are you always pushing? Well, we're here, and it's not going away, and we're not going away. So I'm glad to see that passion in more and more people that I see. I love seeing the passion in young people, because they're supposed to just be being kids, but yet they want to support their friends and their brothers and sisters and their classmates. And so being able to see that, it gives me a better, it restores my faith in humanity just a little bit when I see the kids getting out there and advocating and being on the front lines.
Oh yeah, that was one of the local elementary schools, the one that Brooklyn actually went to. My principal had come in and asked me if I would go on a learning walk at this other school. She said it's something, I guess, that everybody, they were having a few different teachers from all the elementary schools in the district meeting at this one school, asked if I would go. So I got there, and the principal's like, "Oh, okay, good, you're here, let's go." And I'm like, well, I thought other people were supposed to be here. Maybe I'm late. I thought it started at this time, but, maybe I was wrong. So she started walking me down the hall. She's like, "Do you know why we're here?" Like, well, I thought I was doing a learning walk, walking into a classroom, seeing how the other teachers do it. And she goes, "Oh, yeah, all right, come on. We're going to come out here." And we walked outside. I said, well, maybe we're going to the portables. And we turn the corner, and I look, and there's a ton of kids outside, and they're holding like one of the big old massive paper checks for the Brooklyn Miller Foundation, $1,000. The student council at the elementary school had heard about the foundation, and on their own, they chose the fundraiser to do. They did a fun run, and they raised over $1,000 to donate to Brooklyn Foundation. And it's elementary school kids and they did it on their own. They picked the fundraiser. They planned it. They did all of getting the donations. They put it all together. And it was 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders that did it. And so, yeah, having the kids out there, it makes a world of difference. I was like, I don't care if I get a $30,000 donation. This is gonna take the cake, because they all came up and gave me a hug, and we're sorry about Brooklyn, and we want to help, and talking about doing it again next year, and wanting to help in any way that they can. And like you said, it's the little kids that are wanting to help. So hopefully they'll grow up and remember that and continue with it.
Yeah, no, those are the most incredible and kind of heartwarming stories that you hear of the kids that are coming up with these ideas. It's not being kind of forced into, we got to attend a fundraiser, and they're making it, they're on their own, they're doing this, and I love that. I mean, JC's class every year they do something where they honor her. Even as every year they move up in a grade together and they always do something to honor her. And, they're reaching out to us, and they have, their shirts that they bought, 2 years ago when she was going through treatment. And it's an incredible thing, because these kids, they just love their friend.
Yeah.
And now see, I'm going to get, and break down with this, but they just love their friend, and they just want them there with them. And I remember when she went back to school for just a little bit before she got really sick, and she had no hair, and she was in a unicorn onesie sitting in the back of the room. And and the class just went on like normal, but they just were so happy to have her there, and be a part of it. And I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. These children, they have genuine and true hearts that don't know hate. They don't know discrimination. They don't know politics, and they don't know anything other than they love their friends, and they just love being kids. And that is what we are missing in this world so much, is just more and more of these hearts, and we're losing too many of them. And it's not fair, and it's not something that should be a real thing. But just seeing them continue to honor their friends, and when they don't have to, they can just continue to grow up and kind of, I always say that you never, in this world, and you lose a child, you never move on. You always just move forward.
Right.
And these children are moving forward with us. They're not moving on, and they're not forgetting. So I love to hear those stories. It breaks my heart that that we have these stories that continue to happen, that they have to honor their friends that they've lost.
Right.
But I love to see it because it really is a show of we have lost so much of humanity, and they prove that there's still a possibility we might be able to save it.
Yep, we might be okay.
Yeah.
I hope so. There's a lot of good ones out there, though.
Yeah, there really is, and it's an incredible thing to be a part of, a community and have, where the community where you live that supports you and is there for you, and these kids stay around and they continue to support you and check on you. To be honest with you, we have last year we had one of the greatest MCs ever at our event, and we have given him the permanent job for life. His name is Asher, and he is the most incredibly well-spoken young child that I've ever met in my entire freaking life. And he just steals the show. But everything that he wanted to do, he wanted to make sure that it was important and it was respectful to JC and to us.
Oh.
And it really is an incredible thing. And I remember having a phone call before because he wanted to know, how do I, what can I say? What can I not say? What I want to make sure I do it the right way because it's for you guys. And this is a 10-year-old kid that comes up and shakes your hand and says, "How you doing, Mr. Valier? Thank you for letting me do this."
Oh.
It's these, like, I want more just like that.
That's
More
awesome.
kids just like that make these differences. And if you ever go back and look at a video that we posted last year from the Capitol, and he's the one screaming and yelling to get people to listen, and just took charge of the entire class. And it's just incredible. So
I'm gonna have to go find it.
yeah, it's on there. Believe me, it's an amazing thing. And I hope that we can continue to push and have these. I want more and more of these types of kids out there that are doing the work, because people listen when they speak.
Mm-hmm.
When they see us coming, here's just another angry parent or another one that has a cause.
Yeah.
They listen to these kids when they're speaking, which
they do.
rightfully so.
Yep.
So
it definitely hits different coming from a child than from an adult. It doesn't matter if you're the parent or just somebody who knew the child. If you hearing it from a kid's perspective is a whole lot different than hearing it from an adult.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And I wish we had just a group of them that we could take every single time that we go and speak somewhere, and that's the hope at some point, is to have them there with us to do the work all across the country.
Mm-hmm.
We're writing right now. My wife and I together are writing an ambassador program for BattleCorn that allows kids from all across the country to be able to get involved. Under the umbrella of BattleCorn, whatever guidance you need to help you get out there and do things in your community across the country.
Awesome.
And so it's a hope that we can get more eyes and ears on what we're doing, and it's a way that we can reach, so many more people across the country that may not know how do I start advocating, or how do I start an organization? What can I do to help, aside from always, how much money do you need? It's like donations are fantastic, and they are the lifeblood of what we're doing, but really that getting the message out there is so important, because the more people that hear it want to get involved or ask how they can help. On a daily basis, if you run into someone that says, and my wife will talk about it, my mother-in-law will talk about it. If they run into somebody, they'll mention what we do. And every now and again, you'll get somebody like, "Hey, how can I help?" Or "Here's $10 or something like that. Maybe it can help something." And it means a lot, because you've heard our story and you want to make a difference, and people that thank you for telling your story. And I've told our story before, and grown men out, and they'll just start crying. Yep. And it's sad. It really is. And if it evokes that kind of emotion, then that's important. Then understand that a lot of people are going through that on a daily basis, and your help can hopefully get that to change.
Yep, it every little bit definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, definitely true. Is there anything else that I have not spoken about that you would like to add, or any points that I missed, anything like that?
No, I think we've covered it. We've got our stories, we've got foundation, everything I'm doing and the things that you're doing. I think it's great. I think you got it covered.
Awesome.
And I really appreciate you allowing me to have this opportunity. And I hope to talk with you more throughout all of this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is, this is one of those things where we create kind of these lifelong, not necessarily partnerships with organizations, but friendships with people that can make a massive difference. And, touching people in every single state and reaching people in every single state and countries and things like that, it allows us to just make that net so much bigger. And I'm glad to be able to come together and make that change. So it was an absolute pleasure. I know we had some difficulties throughout, but I think we got it figured out.
I think so.
But it was an absolute pleasure. It was an honor to have you on today. And I definitely look forward to working together in the future, and anything that our family or that BattleCorn can do to help the Brooklyn Miller Foundation, please don't ever hesitate to reach out. And definitely everybody check out their organization on the internet, on Facebook, on Instagram, and wherever they are. Search it, you'll find it. There will be some pictures up where you'll be able to find the logo, so you'll know you're at the right one. But there you go. I think it was a great conversation. I think a lot of people are going to be touched by what they heard.
I hope so.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much. And everybody else, we will see you all next week.